program for stopping, okay, for raising an exception. Raising an exception when you are trying to update employee salary, EMP salary, or inserting a record into anything, record into EMP table. So whenever see, this program should work for both update case and inserting. Okay, I have to write exactly it's a two programs. One is for inserting, one is for updating. Okay, so whenever you are updating an employee salary, so you need to update the employee salary by employee number. Update EMP set salary is equal to the new salary, where whatever the new salary you are giving, new salary, where employee number is equal to your employee number, whatever employee number you are giving. Whenever you are updating a employee salary is equal to new salary, and this one. Okay, so before updating, this is the one case, before updating, so we need to check the new salary value, whatever value I'm giving. If new salary value is greater than precedent salary, then raise an exception. That is my assignment. Okay, so raise an exception. So if the salary is not greater than the precedent salary, can continue the normal operation. Similarly, before inserting also, so what you will do, insert into EMP values. You will do a values. Okay, here you will give employee number, values, VE employee number. Okay, so VE name, we will give all the values. Here also we will give the view variable name. This is the just variable name, new salary. Okay, so before inserting the operation, I need to check the value of this variable. Before inserting, I need to check value of this variable. Then if the value is greater than precedent salary, so then raise an exception. We need to raise an exception. Okay, so here the first thing is, let's say I'll write a program for updating. So updating is, so here I needed two variables. One is for employee number and one is for the new salary. Two variables required. Okay, and third one is, we need to see what is the salary of a precedent. So everybody is hard coded the 5,000, but it can be 5,000 or 6,000 or 10,000. We need to get a precedent salary. Okay, so let's see. Set server output on declare begin end. So first thing is to declare two variables. V underscore new salary is for this one. EMP dot salary percentage type, and V underscore EMP number is for the employee number for which we want to update. Percentage type, so precedent salary. V underscore max salary is for storing the maximum salary of a precedent. EMP dot salary percentage type. That's it. Okay, first thing is to prompt a new salary. New salary is prompting, and this is for employee number. This is the employee number record we are updating with this salary. Okay, so now here we need to check an exception. What is the exception we need to check it? So here is the exception name, V underscore max underscore salary exception. That is my exception name. Okay, so now here we need to raise the exception. When we need to raise an exception, here we need to see the maximum salary. Okay, we need to see the maximum salary. So how do you get the maximum salary? This is the variable for storing precedent salary. Precedent salary. So now we need to get the precedent salary. How do you get the precedent salary? It's not a 5,000, right? It can be a 5,000 or it can be a 10,000 or it can be a 15,000. But we need to see how do you get the president's salary. Write a query to get the president's salary. Select salary into V underscore max sal from EMP where job is equal to president. So here you will get the president's salary. Okay, so now here, so once we have the president's salary in this variable, so if your new salary greater than V underscore max salary, if a new salary, so this is the new salary we are giving. Okay, this is the maximum salary. We need to compare. If the new salary is greater than the maximum salary, then raise an exception. Else update. Pin number. So commit. After update, commit on end if. That's it. So when max salary. So then here we need to write. President salary. That is what is the president salary we have. When others. So then that's it. So I'm updating the salary of 5600 and 7839 for this employee. I'm updating. Sorry. See here, salary of an employee is always less than the president's salary is a 5,000. That's it. See, that means whenever you are updating a salary of an employee for any record, we can use the same thing in a loop also. For example, if you are updating it based on any cursor or something, we can use the same concept. At the same time, whenever you are inserting a record into employee table also, we need to check what are the values you have given for the salary. If the salary is greater than the maximum salary, first thing is here you need to get the president's salary in the variable, and then you need to prompt the value what new salary you are giving to an employee. So here we need to check it. So the salary is greater than this one and raise maximum salary exception. This is the max salary exception. Everybody is clear? Anybody have any doubts? Everybody is clear or anybody have any doubts? Yes or no, please? Anybody have any doubts, please?
Sir, in this program, if I want to update the whole EMP table with some salary. How should I do that? Like I tried this, but I'm getting an exception where like in the between, if I get a salary of 5,000 or greater than present, then the loop is getting out, and the other employees are not getting a hike like salary increase. How should I do that?
So you want to update in a loop, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if any one record fail, so you have to continue.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to fail only for that operation. So you have to do the remaining records, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. So first let's take the backup of this program. Okay, let's see. So I want to update the salary. So what salary you have to give for that salary? You want to increase the salary by. So how do you write a program? What is the logic? So you want to update the salary in a loop, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So what is the new salary you want to give?
Uh, like something like that, 10, $20 increase, like for all the employees except the president, and their salary should not go above the president.
Okay, right. So he want to increase the salary of employees by. Okay, so write a program for updating salaries by 100 rupees. Salaries by 100. Okay, so if a salary is the new salary, so that is the new salary. So the new salary is greater than 5,000. That's the greater than president salary. President salary. Then don't update that record. Okay, that's you don't want to update, right? Clear? Record and continue rest of the records. Is it clear, Avinash?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's see. First thing is write a program for updating the salaries. So you want to update the complete record. So complete employee table needs to be updated. So we have to use a cursor. Cursor C is select star from employee. So I'm getting the complete this one. Okay, so now this is not required. Okay, so v underscore maximum salary we need. V underscore max salary to check for that record. So emp dot salary percentage typo. Okay, so here I got the maximum salary. Okay, so now I'm opening a cursor for I in C. I want to use a cursor for loop and end loop. In the loop, between the loop, I have to update the salary. Okay, so if I dot salary. So I dot salary means first record salary plus the 100 is the what I am giving is greater than this salary. If I dot salary plus 100, the plus 100 means that is the one you are incrementing. So greater than 5,000. Then don't do anything. Okay. So else update emp set salary is equal to salary plus 100, where employee number is equal to I dot employee number. For every record I'm updating. So it is for v dot I dot salary is greater than, or else let's put a less than. I dot salary less than maximum salary. So then update it. Else don't do anything. So in this case exception is also not required. If any exception, just to display. See here. So first case is I'm getting the maximum salary. I opened a cursor. I'm checking the every employees for every record salary plus 100 is less than maximum salary. So then only I'm updating that current record, and rest I'm not updating that record. Let's see. See here I have a salary of only this one. So except this record, all others will be updated. anonymous block completed. So now if you see this one, so everything will be incremented by 100 except this record. Clear, Avinash? Say. So here I'm checking the maximum salary.
Yes, sir.
And the salary existing records. I opened a cursor. So the cursor I will get every record. I'm checking every record's existing salary is this one I dot salary plus 100 is less than maximum salary. If this condition is satisfied, so then only I'm updating the salary to salary plus 100. For the rest of the records, I'm not updating anything. Okay. Anybody have any doubts in this program, please? Please go through it and let me know. Anybody? Anybody, please? Shalini, Shravani, Ashok, Mahesh, Shweta. Clear? Thing is, so in a loop, you want to update a record with a salary greater than 100. So salary needs to be incremented by 100, but you want to stop for the records which are already have a maximum salary. Okay, so that means you want to check it the condition. Okay. So now, so what is the difference between a procedures and a function? We have seen the syntaxes. Okay, we have seen the last class, we have seen the syntax of a procedure and we have seen the syntax of a function. Okay, so now what is the difference between a procedure and a function? What is the difference between procedure and a function? Anybody?
Function returns the value, whereas procedure doesn't return the value.
Any others? That's it? Only one statement is fine. And a procedure cannot be called from a SQL statement, and a function can be called from a select statement. And a procedure will be used to perform a particular task, whereas a function will be used to perform a particular calculation to compute some value. One line answer is not sufficient for interview point of view. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's the main thing is function can be called from a SQL and procedure cannot be called from a procedure. Let's see. I want to write a procedure. Okay. Before writing a procedure, so I have told you the last one. So called program and a calling program. What is the called program and a calling program? What is a called program and a calling program? Calling program means a PL SQL, a PL SQL code or anything. PL SQL code for invoking a stored program. So that is from the place we are executing, from the place we are going to initiate the executing. So from the code for invoking a stored program for execution, that is a calling program. Okay, execution. So here called program is the actual PL SQL program which is going to execute whenever you invoke it. This is actual PL SQL program, actual a program, subprogram, or else a stored program which is going to execute. So when you invoke it. Okay, this is a called program and this is a calling program. So called program is the program which is going to execute it, and called program. Okay, subprograms accept parameters, may or may not accept the parameters. We have seen this one. So subprograms may or may not accept parameters. That's a very thing important. So the one thing is these two words are very important. Called program and a calling program. Calling program means it's a client from where we are executing. And a called program is actual program where it is going to execute. Subprogram may or may not accept parameters. Okay. So during the subprogram calling, during the subprogram. So for a subprogram execution, we need to pass values to all mandatory parameters. Mandatory. This is very important. We need to pass values to all mandatory parameters from calling program. This is very important. So whenever you are calling, before calling a program, we need to see what are the parameters it is required to a procedure, and how many parameters are optional and how many parameters are mandatory. From the calling program, we need to pass values to all mandatory parameters. Okay, please remember this. So we have to pass calling program to called program. After successful execution of the stored program, okay, it returns a value to calling program. So if it is a function, it returns a value from called program to calling program. Okay, procedure does not return a value, so don't worry. So call program, after successful completion of a function from called program, it returns a value to calling program. Okay, let's see. We have seen in the last class, some examples. So sorry, syntax. So let's see. First, I want to write a procedure which displays a simple message. We will write one by one. So write a procedure for displaying welcome message. Just I want to display welcome message. Welcome message. Let's say welcome to PL SQL stored programs. I want to display the message like this. Subprograms. Okay, so this is the message I want to print. I want to write a procedure. Create or replace procedure name. Don't worry about this replace. I'll explain the replace. Create or replace procedure name. Procedure, say welcome. Say welcome. Is, there is no parameters at this moment. Is or as, and begin and end. So I'm not writing any exception handling also. Okay, so now there is no, I'm not declaring any variable. If you need any variables, those variables should be declared between is and begin. Okay, so here begin. So dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. See, simple program which displays a message. Say welcome to PLC. A procedure, say welcome compiled. A procedure, say welcome compiled. It's a compiled. So it's a created successfully. Okay. So now, so let's see. So you can see the errors associated. If you have any errors in the program, you can see the errors by executing the following. Select. Let's say I'm modifying the program. I remove this one. See here. Let's see. See, a procedure. You can see here. So error, check compiler log. Okay, procedure, say welcome compiled, but it's created with errors. If you go here on the procedures tab, you will see a procedure. See the red mark. The red mark indicates that procedure failed because it has some errors. So how do you see the errors? Okay, you can see the errors in your compiler log. It displays here. It displays the here. Say encountered the symbol end when expecting one of the following. We know the problem, but if anybody asks you how do you see the errors of a subprogram, that you can see, select star from all underscore errors. This is the predefined table which contains the errors of your subprograms, where name is equal to say welcome. That is your procedure name in capitals. See here, if you execute this one, so it displays a message, says that yes, see, procedure name is welcome and procedure, it's a sequence. The line number 5 has an error. Line number 5 has an error. So what is that error is PL SQL encountered the symbol end. So that means I know here this is the problem. Even though a procedure has an error, it creates in the database. Okay, even though it has an error, procedure creates in the database with a red mark. That means invalid state. A subprogram has two states, valid and invalid. Subprogram states valid and invalid. Invalid means created with an error. So valid means created successfully. And invalid means created with compilation errors. So it's created successfully, and invalid means created with the compilation errors. So the valid means created successfully. We can execute, it's ready to execute. So ready to execute it. And this one we cannot execute it because it has an error. That's why we need to make sure what is the state, whether it is valid or invalid. Okay. So here I modified this and I'm recompiling the program. See here, procedure compiled. So now let's see the errors. There is no error. Now the procedure, if you see refresh here, procedure has a compiled successfully without any errors. Okay, everybody. Everybody, is it clear so far? Please let me know. So every subprogram status are valid or invalid status. Valid means created successfully and it's ready to execute. Invalid means it's created with compilation errors. We cannot execute it. And create or replace procedure name. Just I created. Okay. So whenever you create it, it won't execute it. It stores in the database successfully. In order to execute a code associated to the subprogram, the second step is we have to call it. We have to invoke it. So the procedure created means it's a successfully created in a database without any compilation errors. So if you want to execute the code associated to the subprogram, we have to execute it. So how can I execute a subprogram? Subprogram can be executed with calling. So we need to call a subprogram. How can I call a subprogram? Okay, procedure calling. We need to call a procedure call. So the syntax is procedure name with values to parameter, value 1, value 2 and so on, value n. That depends upon the parameters. Okay, this is, so here just call a procedure, that's it. Let me see calling a procedure. So a procedure can be called from another procedure. The last class we have seen a procedure can be called from another PL SQL block, a procedure can be called from another function, and procedure can be called from another package or anywhere. So now here I'm writing one calling program, that is my anonymous PL SQL block. So now I want to write a calling program, the simple one I'm calling. So now what is my procedure name? Okay, so the procedure name is a say welcome. Do we have any parameters this procedure? Do we have any parameters in this procedure? Do we have any parameters in this procedure?
No.
So we don't need to pass that, just call the procedure name. See here, welcome to subprogram. See here, so this is called as a calling program. This is called as a calling program, and this procedure, whatever code it is going to execute, is called as a called program. So called program and a calling program. So the called program and calling program. So from here we have to pass values to this program. If it is any parameters are there, after successful completion of this procedure, it's come back and it's continue your rest of the programs. See here. Now let's see dbms underscore output dot put underscore line before calling procedure. So I'm writing it just one more message. That's it. So here, so the output is first it prints this line before calling a procedure, and procedure is going to execute. Procedure means the code associated to the procedure is going to execute, and after successful completion of the procedure, it comes back and it executes the rest of the lines. See, before calling a procedure. Okay, and welcome to PL SQL subprograms, and after calling a procedure, so it executes the line. Everybody, is it clear? Yes or no, please? Yes or no? Yes. So I want to write the same thing with a function. Okay. So now the say welcome message using a functions. I want to show you the difference side by side with functions. Okay, please follow the syntax. Create or replace function. So fn underscore say hello. Just a function name. Fn say welcome. That is my function name. Okay, so function returns a keyword. So the return is very important. Return. So what type of message it is returning? It's a varchar. The data type. What data type it is returns? Varchar2 is, so begin and end. Okay, so now here I want to, instead of displaying, see here just I displayed it, but instead of displaying, just I want to return a message. Return welcome to functions. That is the variable functions. Some message. Okay, let's see. Declare a variable. V message is equal to, this is the welcome to functions. I'm assigning to a variable, and finally I'm returning this message. So I have had errors. Semicolon is missing. See, a function compiled successfully. There is no errors here. Okay, so what I'm doing here is, see, here the return is required. The return data type. That means this is the varchar2 is the data what we are returning from a function. Okay, so I declared a variable. I told you. So between is and begin, we can declare all the variables. So we can execute this code, any code, but at the end of the function, we have to return. So the return means whatever value in this variable, right, will be passed to your calling program. So now let's write a calling program. So now in order to execute the code associated to this function, we need to write a calling program. How to function call? Syntax. So as a function returns a value, we need to capture that value. Function returns a value, so we need to capture that value. That's why it's a variable. It's a variable is equal to your function name. Why it's a variable? So function always call in an expression, because function returns a value, so the return value should be captured into a variable. See here, that's why. So the so function always return a value, so the return value should be captured into this variable. Let me write a program, calling program. Begin end. So now declare a variable to capture the result. So varchar2 of 100. So now call this variable. V is equal to fn say hello. Fn say hello. So now print this variable. Put line. So I'm printing the value of a variable. What is the function name we have? Say welcome. Sorry. That's it. Welcome to functions. How it is going to execute? So here I have a variable, and this variable, okay, this goes to this function. Okay, this function executes this function. At the end of the function, so I have a return message. That means the value stored in this variable, the return to calling program. So where it will be stored? It stores into this variable. That's why the function is always called in an expression, because function returns a value. We need to capture that value into a variable. That's why here is our variable v and function calculating this value. Everybody is clear? Please let me know. Anybody have any doubts, please? Anything, any issues or any doubts? These concepts are very important. Please let me know. Okay. So now I want to write a function to find sum of two numbers. Write a function for finding sum of two numbers. Okay. So now I want to write a function to find sum of two numbers. Two numbers sum to be calculated. So here I need to write a function with the two parameters. So create or replace function sum two numbers. That's my function name. Fn sum two numbers. So I'm creating a function with the two parameters. A number, one variable, and B number. And thing is, whenever you are declaring a parameters, don't specify the size. That's the requirement. Don't specify the size here. That's the syntax. So return. So what type of return is? Return number. At the end of the function, it returns a number again. So now is, so declare a variable result number. That's for storing the sum of two numbers. Begin. And here I'm not writing the exceptions, but you need to write an exception. So here, okay, so now a plus b. So these parameters can be used in your function code. So here, this is the parameters a and b. So these parameters can be used anywhere in your function. These parameters can be used anywhere in your function code directly. See here, these are the variables a and b, and I'm directly using a plus b. Okay, this is the possible. Return result. At the end of the function, I am returning a variables value stored in the return. So I have written a function. Okay, this function accepts the two parameters to find the sum of two numbers, a and b. Okay, so the return number, return data type. This is the data type. Now this is the variable to store intermediate value result. So the result is equal to a plus b. So now the return res. So the value stored in the variable is returning back. So function compiled. Now I need to write a calling program. Everything we need to calling a program. Without calling program, it's not going to execute. Without calling server output on. Here. So two variables needs to be declared here. X number of 4 is equal to ampersand x, and y number of 4 is equal to ampersand y. Okay, so result res number of 5. So now here we need to call. So result is equal to x plus y. Sorry, fn sum two numbers. So now result is dbms underscore output dot put underscore line sum of x and y is it right or anything wrong in this program? Is this right or anything wrong in this program? Let's see. Guess it? Anybody? Yes or no, please? Yes, parameters. Let's see. If I call these parameters, okay, x is 34 and 34. See here, wrong number are types of arguments in call to function. That means this function needs two parameters, so a and b, but I'm not passing a values, parameter values. That's why compulsory we need to pass a parameters. So here I am passing x comma y. So how it is going to work? Okay, so the value of x will be assigned to a, the value of x will be assigned to a, and the value of y will be assigned to b. So this way of passing values to function or passing values to procedure is called as the position based parameter passing. So the first value, the variable value stored in the variable x will be assigned to a, and value stored in the y will be assigned to b. So it's a position based parameter passing. Parameter passing, position based. 34 and 12. 34 and 12 is 46. So it goes to the value stored in the x will be assigned to a, and value stored in the y will be assigned to b. So these values will be stored here and the sum will be calculated. Everything is clear? Everything is clear. Okay, so let's see the same program I'm adding with a different way. So fn sum two numbers. Okay, so b is equal to y. Okay, and a is equal to x. So this is called as a name based parameter passing. Name based parameter passing. Two ways we can pass a. So here I'm commenting this. See here. So the value stored in the y will be assigning to b, and value stored in the x will be assigning to parameter a. So here a and b are the parameters. And the name based parameter passing. Name based parameter passing. 12 and 12. 24. So the parameters can be passed based on position based or based on the name. If it is the position based, you can directly give x and y. See here the position. So the first value goes to first parameter and the second value goes to second parameter. And this b and x, it can be same. Everybody is clear? Yes or no, please? Please let me know the difference between position based and name based. Okay, similarly we can execute a function with a constant values also. Sum two numbers. See here, this is calling a function with the constants. We can execute a function with the constants. No need to be a variable. See here I am using the variable. Variables are not required all the time. You can use a constants also. See here 12 and 3. It goes to this function and returns the variable names, the values, the parameter. So this is a calling program. So the calling program values can be a constant values also. Anybody have any doubts, please? Anybody have any doubts, please? So the position based, name based, and compulsory we need to write a program. Okay, one thing here is on this one. Let's say before calling here, after here, so I'm trying to change the value of a parameter. See here, a is equal to 15. What is the meaning of 15 here? So I'm assigning 15 value to a variable a. So that's not a variable, it's a parameter. Let's see. Check compiler log. Okay, check compiler log. That means where is this? All errors. Let's go back. So let's see the error. Yes, see here, expression a cannot be used as an assignment target. Expression a cannot be used as an assignment target. That means we are trying to assign a value to a parameter inside a function code. Say this is illegal. This is not correct because we cannot change parameter value in the function code. There is one way. What is that way? We can see. Okay, that by default by default. If you don't see any value here, so we cannot change. This is not correct because we cannot change value of a parameter inside a procedure or a function. The only way we can change values is calling. So the values will be assigned to only calling. So here inside a function code, we cannot change values of a variable. Everybody is clear? Please note down this point. Inside a function code, everybody is clear? So we cannot change values of parameters inside a function code. Everybody is clear? But there is a way we can change it. We will see that. Everybody is clear? So now let's comment this. It's a function compile and everything is. Now I want to write a procedure to find sum of two numbers. Procedure. I want to write a procedure to find sum of two numbers with the same logic. I want to show you the difference between two. Procedure finding sum of two numbers. I want to write a procedure to find sum of two numbers. Let's see. Create or replace procedure. So SP sum two numbers. So now A number and B number, two variables. Here there is no return, is begin end. So declare res is the number to find sum of two variables. 4. Here res is equal to A plus B. A plus B dbms underscore output dot put underscore line dbms underscore sum is, so now just I'm printing sum is res. Sum is res. So now function created. Sorry. Procedure sum two numbers compiled successfully. Now I want to call this program. Set server output on. So declare begin end. So here I'm declaring a function. So declaring a two variables. So let's call these two variables. So I declared a two variables and then call the function sum two number, because it is not a function, so no need to call it in an expression. So x comma y. That's it. For a function and procedure, for a procedure also we can pass the parameters using a position based and a name based. Okay, so now I'm giving it 23 and I'm giving it 34. So the output is 57. So output is 57. Okay, everybody. Yes or no, please. Same thing. Function returns a value. That's why we're storing into here. As a procedure does not return a value, I'm printing in the here. Yes or no, please. Everybody is yes or no so far. We are going into a little bit more concept, more depth. Okay, so let's see. Okay, in the last class, so here, so can I change the value of a parameter inside a procedure code? No, it is not possible. And so this is the calling program and this is a called program. This is the procedure. Okay, so how can I get a value into calling program for a function? So function returns a value. So using this return statement, we will get a value into this variable. But is there any way we can pass a value from a procedure to calling program? See here. Okay, here we are passing a value into procedure. From calling program, we are passing a values to procedure using these parameters. But is there any way we can pass value from a procedure to calling program? Is there any way to pass value? I'm not saying written. Okay, don't confuse with the written. So I'm saying it's a passing a value from called program, some procedure to function, and function to procedure. Calling program to procedure is possible with the parameters, but from called program, from procedures to this one, is it possible or not? Yes, it is possible. Okay, with the help of, so what are the three parameter modes we discussed in the last class? What are the three parameter modes?
In, out, in, out.
Yes, procedure parameter modes. In, out, and in, out.
Yeah.
Procedure parameter modes. What is this procedure parameter mode? So procedure parameter mode declares or defines the behavior of a parameter, how the parameter is going to act as. So the behavior of a parameter, how it behaves. Okay, we have a three modes: in mode, out mode, and in out. What is this in mode? It is a default. It's a default mode. Okay, it is a default mode. In mode means is a default mode. What is the meaning of a default mode? In means in variable. So the parameter in means for passing a value from calling program to procedure. So that means if you want to pass value into procedure, we have to declare it as in mode. In means so into procedure. So calling to called program. See here. So we have a procedure here. So you have a calling program. So whatever value in the X, I'm passing to A. Whatever value in the Y, I'm passing to B. So that means so A and B are in mode because default. I did not specify any mode here. If you don't specify any mode, it is a in mode. In means so into procedure. And in parameters, parameter values cannot be changed inside a procedure code. Inside a procedure code. That means here in this one we cannot change this one, right? This is exactly this one. Yes, here in mode we cannot change values of a in parameter inside a procedure code. In means so that is the parameter, it acts as a into procedure. This is opposite to in is out. Opposite to out is out. Out mode means for passing a value from procedure to calling program. Procedure to calling program. So that means so here from procedure to calling program, if you want to pass a value into a variable into calling program, this is the out parameter. Out means so from called program to calling program. Okay, so in the calling program, out parameter is always a variable. In calling program, out parameter is always a variable. So in the out parameter, so it's always a variable. We cannot use a constant for out parameter because out means it has to come from procedure to calling program. So out. So in means only into procedure. Out means from procedure to calling program. So it returns a value. It passes a value from procedure to here. Now in means if you want to use a variable for bidirectional, it's a in plus out, in out. So in plus out, that means a same variable for both bidirectional, in plus out. That means a variable for bidirectional. directional. That means for both input and output. So if you want to use a variable for in both directions, we can use the in out. In means only into and out means only out, and in out means a same variable can change this one. So the values of these two variables can be changed inside a procedure. So here we can change the values of the mode, but we cannot change value of a in parameter inside a procedure. We cannot change value of a in parameter inside, because in means that's a read only in a procedure. We cannot change. Everybody is clear the definition of in out and in out? Yes or no, please? In out and in out. In means only into procedure. Out means from procedure to out. So in out means only in one directional. In out means it's a bidirectional. That means we can change value of a procedure and everything. Yes or no, please? Okay. So now, yeah, go ahead.
We can also say that out parameter returns a value to the calling program.
It's not written, it's a passes a value. Don't say the return. Okay, if you say the return in interview, that gives a wrong meaning.
Okay. Out means we can
Out means exactly is equal to the return. After successful completion of the procedure, it returns a value to the calling program, but we cannot say return in interview.
Okay.
Out parameter is to passes a value. Okay, so pass the value to calling program. Okay.
Okay.
But don't say return anything for the procedure. If anybody asks you procedure returns a value, yes, procedure does it, but with the help of out parameter, not with the return keyword. That's what we have to say in interview. If you say procedure returns a value, that gives a wrong meaning to the interviewer. Okay, so now I'm writing the same program, modifying a program with the modes. If you don't specify any mode, let's say, if you don't specify any mode, it is a default mode. It is in. So in, out, and these are the two mode, and I'm using the res out number. This is the out parameter. Okay, so now here no need to declare this variable. There's no need to print here. Just we need to assign a value to this parameter. That's it. See, procedure successfully compiled. That means, see, this procedure has a three parameters. One is out parameter and the two are in parameters, out and in out parameters. So out and in out means, so the in means it returns a value at the end of the successful completion of this procedure. At the successful completion of this procedure, whatever value you are finally giving to this variable will be passed to your calling program. Now I'm writing the program. That's it. For in parameters, it can be a constant. For out parameter, it is not a constant. It is always a variable. See, that's it. Sum of the numbers is 24. That's it. So that means, so how it is going to execute? Let's see. Okay, so it has a three parameters. Here we have a three parameters. Okay, so now x value, x is first two are input parameter. That means the value in the x will be assigned to b. The value in the y will be assigned to b. So it executes a plus b. So a plus b value is storing into res. What is this res? Res is a out parameter. Okay, no need to declare these parameters inside the here. No need to declare. So at the end of successful completion of this procedure, finally the value stored in this out parameter res will be returned to this parameter c based on the position. Okay, the first two will be input and c will be output. It can have any number of input parameters and we can have any number of output parameters. Okay, everybody? Yes or no, please? Please let me know. Okay, so now here I'm replacing a C with 123, which is wrong. Because out parameter is always a variable. Because out parameter need to store a value. Let's see here, we'll get an error. So here expression 123 cannot be used as an assignment target. It is a constant value. So out parameter is not a constant. That's why I told you. Everybody is clear? Everybody is clear? Okay. Out and in now parameters. So now how to drop a procedure. So drop procedure, procedure name. Drop procedure, procedure name. Drop function, function name. That is, if you want to drop function and function name. That is, they're just dropping a procedure and a function. Okay, and each procedure have a status valid or invalid. Each function has a status valid or invalid. If a function or a procedure is invalid, we cannot execute that one. If a function or procedure is invalid, we cannot execute it. If a drop procedure and procedure name. Everybody is okay? Yes or no, please? And okay, so if you want to recompile a code associated to a procedure, alter procedure, procedure name, alter procedure, procedure name, or function name, sorry, alter procedure, procedure name, compile. That is for recompiling a invalid procedure or recompiling a procedure. If sometimes we may have to recompile a procedure, chances are very less because Oracle is automatically recompiles a procedures. Procedure and alter function, function name, compile. So the compile name. See here, alter procedure. See, procedure is altered. That means alter means recompile. That's it. It won't do. So it automatically compiles the procedure. Okay, everybody. So this is all procedures and functions. The only thing is you need to write, change the between these two. You need to write whatever you have between begin and end, we have to write. So you know, using the cursors, you know how to use the exceptions and everything. Okay, so I'll give you one assignment. Let's try. Okay, so we will see in tomorrow's class. Okay, please practice all these things. The first assignment. Tomorrow we will continue again in the first half an hour. We will see the procedures and functions and then we will continue. And write a procedure for inserting a record into EMP table. EMP table. Okay. With the proper exception handling. Okay. So write a write a procedure for inserting a record into employee table. Okay. So write a procedure for inserting a record into employee table. Now output is if insert completed, successfully completed. So output display output as so the record inserted successfully. This is the output. If any insert failed with any reason and it is successfully and commit. Okay, if insert failed, okay, displays the display error code and error message and why it is failed and everything. Error message, then a rollback. This is the program I want. So you have to write a procedure for inserting a record into EMP. Okay, you need to pass the parameters to this procedure. Okay, you need to see how many parameters you need and everything. Be careful, try it. Okay, if I'm inserting a record into EMP, that means I need parameters for all columns and I need parameter for output parameter, so which displays a message. And you need to write a calling program also. Okay, and write a function for checking whether a given employee is available in database or not. Available in EMP table or not. Okay, so now I need to check it. So it should accept parameter employee number. So the function for checking whether a given employee is available in EMP table or not. So I will pass employee number as parameter. EMP number as parameter. Okay. So if employee found, EMP found, so then returns 1 and display message. I want 1 as output and display employee found. Okay, if employee not found, so then 0 and display employee not found. Please write these assignments. First practice all above assignment and write this. Not found. Okay sir, everybody is clear? So we will continue in tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow class is at 8 o'clock. Please let me know before closing, anybody have any doubts or everything is clear? Please let me know. Yes or no, please? Yes. Super. So please try this 2 program. Then we will first half an hour we will discuss the issues, procedures and functions, and then we will continue packages. We'll give you more assignments. Okay, so see, did everybody created the tables, these tables, students table, okay, and the courses table, batch table and payments table? Did everybody created these 4 tables? I have sent everybody, I have sent the script to everybody for executing the tables and inserting the data. Did everybody create it? Yes or no, please? Did everybody create it? I got only 1 yes. What about the rest? Because I'm going to give a, please create Shweta, okay? Because we are going to give you more assignments on those 4 tables. Okay. Okay, sir. I hope everybody understand it. Today's video, yes. Okay. I'll upload and then I'll send a link to everyone. Okay, sir. Good night.